Hold on. Oh my god.
Honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, 'cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee. Honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me. Do you want it? Can't feel me?
Not gonna happen. I can't do the floss. Oh my gosh, you guys, we have a special guest here, obviously. We are going to dig into all of your YouTube questions. The YouTube Creator Liaison is here. His name is Rene Ritchie. I'll introduce him in just a second. Everybody freaking loved that countdown timer. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and get you on here, Renee, and we'll explain what a Creator Liaison is. But we had Doc. It's a good thing R2 knows a lot about YouTube and tech because the dancing.
Doc.
Ouch. Oh. We had Sammy was loving it. Creator Classroom was loving it. Bella, it was loving it. Everybody was loving that. Thank you for dancing. We do have some questions about that coming
only come
up.
for the dancing. The questions are just extra.
Yeah, it's the only reason you're here. So let's talk real quick. This is just a completely casual, open AMA. Everybody who has questions, you can start by putting a Hold on, I was muted. You can put a Q in front of your question if you have any questions about your YouTube growth, about the algorithm, about content creation, about anything of the sort. Put a Q in front of the question. Super chats do take priority, and we're gonna dive into that here in just a second. Now, to set the stage a little bit, this has been kind of like Renee week around here.
It was purely accidental.
It really was. So there were a couple of pieces of news that that got a lot of attention, and so we put out a couple of videos. We're going to link to those. Those are in the description if you have not watched those. But let's set the stage a little bit in terms of what those pieces of news were, and then we'll answer any of your questions. Well, Renee will answer any of your questions around those topics, but also anything else you want around your YouTube channel. If you have questions about the algorithm, content strategy, moderation, like whatever it is that you have questions around, just bring that on. Renee,
Yes.
First and foremost, what were the pieces of news that, kind of were hot topics this week?
So I guess the biggest announcement is something that we talked about at Made on YouTube last fall, and that is just taking the traditional promise of YouTube that creators and YouTube succeed best together. And earlier this year, we exemplified that again by extending ad revenue sharing to Shorts. And just last week, we took I think one of the biggest and most important steps we've ever done, and that is to open up the YouTube Partner Program to a whole new generation of content creators, a lower tier where you can get in on fan funding like super chats, super stickers, super thanks, memberships, all of those things, but also get support in Creator Studio, which I think is massive, the copyright tool, all of those things, starting at 500 subs, so half the amount of subs that you used to. And there's just like the full YPP, there's a path in for long form VOD creators and a path in for Shorts creators. And if you live stream, as long as you archive that live stream and leave it public, your live watch hours and your replay watch hours all count towards it as well.
Yay! Yeah, there was a little bit of a maybe misunderstanding around the replay or the live watch hours there. So if you're going to be live for, daily, or if you're going to be live for many hours at a time, then that's going to count towards that. So that's great.
And we found historically that if you do leave your replays live, it does do slightly better for your channel. So there's no reason. Like, I know some people think they have to hide all that stuff, but if your audience is digging it, like the algorithm's going to dig it.
Yeah, let's talk about that super quick. Is there a reason why it does better? Is it just because it's more content? Did you hear me? Oh, did I lose you, Renee? Oh, we lost him. Okay, we're gonna get Renee back. I'm gonna boot him out here. He froze, and he will be back here in just a second. The second piece of news was that, oh, hang on. Okay. And he's gone again. must be having internet issues. The dance froze him out. He's like, I'm done. I'm out. The second piece of news was that the promotions tab. Now that's a little bit of an older piece of news, but there has been consistent conversation around that. And we do have some questions already about that. Renee, do I got you again? Can you hear me? This is live. This is live, folks. Oh, I don't have you. Change your audio. While he works on that, we're going to tackle a couple of questions. Give me a thumbs up when you think you have it, Renee. I think he froze again. Wow. So glad to catch the live. We're going to get to the Q&A. I promise you that. We will fix this. And the second piece of news was that promotions tab. Some people thought, great, I'm excited about it. It made it easier for you to actually run ads with your videos if you want to. I know I have a super chat around that question as well. And then the other thing is, some people were like worried that it was like kind of pay to play, which is not the case. And the video went through that process of why that is not the case. Renee?
Yes, I'm so sorry. My home internet went down and I had to tether and come back as fast as I could.
Is that what happened?
Yeah,
No.
apologize.
That's okay. And of course, you keep trying to join. Close out the other one. The other window that you have open.
I think they all should be dead now.
Okay, cool. All right, so I kind of set the stage. I finished setting the stage in terms of the news of the week. Secondly, we had a poll going, and then we're going to tackle all of your questions. The poll was, do you know what a creator liaison is? Because that's not a new role, but it's not something that all creators know what it is. You have been very visible lately in terms of your role. So what is a creator liaison?
So my job is to be inside YouTube, going over all the product and policy. And I mean, everybody at YouTube cares deeply about creators, but they all have their own full-time jobs. And I have the absolute privilege, the luxury of having my only full-time job being advocating for creators, building extra empathy and extra understanding into every process inside YouTube, and also trying to look at things that maybe could be easier, simpler, more creator-centric throughout the entire platform. Like I don't do tech support. There's only one of me. So that's all team YouTube and creator support and studio, but sort of the large scale things. And then externally, I try to help explain YouTube so that creators can understand it better and have less stress and just more success on the platform.
I love that. And kind of bridging the gap and helping everybody understand each other on both sides, the creators.
Yes, I'm like a translator, a universal translator. I'm a babblefish.
There you go. All right, we are going to get, Sammy says Renee's job is a great job. And Renee does a great job at it. So that's why he's here to answer all of your YouTube questions, to help you understand the process of using YouTube to grow your channel. So grab those questions, put a queue in front of them. Super chats take priority. We've got 2 super chats from the pre-show that we're gonna do. But before we do that, I have a very important question myself, Renee.
Okay.
Can you handle it? This is a hard
I don't know.
question.
I don't know. I mean, bring it.
Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Slytherin, or the fourth one that I always forget?
Hufflepuff? Is that the fourth one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have a few characteristics of each of them.
I feel like
I don't
you're
think
a
I'd be a clean match.
Ravenclaw. No?
Maybe, or a Slytherin. I don't know. I mean, maybe the Sorting Hat would just like shake and then explode on my head. Too many houses.
All right. Everybody in the comments, drop which house you are. Just had to ask you that question because of the shirt I'm wearing. So nice. Let's get into the super chats. First and foremost, we had Mari's music. Are static given the promotions tab and all of the conversation around the around advertising. They are a small music store late to the YouTube ad game, and they're wondering if static display ads are still relevant in 2023.
So I guess like it depends on how you want to use them. I think like in YouTube, we're mostly looking at platform ads, which is like the pre-roll, mid-roll, post-roll sorts of ads. I think YouTube has some display ads, like the header ad and a thing like that. But I'm not that we have an ads liaison. It's actually a separate position, and Jenny can probably answer that question way more than me, or maybe Luria can because like she's way smarter about this kind of stuff than I am. But I would just say like my default answer to everything is to test and get
Yeah.
data.
Definitely. I mean, in terms of display ads, that's not something that we typically do, but we do video ads. But I see a lot of people still using display ads, so I think that it's probably still relevant would be my guess. But test. I like that answer.
Yeah. If they're not gone, then some people figured out a way to use them.
And by the way, Mari, thank you for the super chat to get that question in. Sammy had the second super chat from the countdown. When will Renee actually start live streaming on his own channel? Sammy, real quick, that's a question I've been asking him for like 3 years, but I'll let him answer.
I know. Yeah. Well, one, I think I found out that I'm actually House Numenor from Lord of the Rings, so I nicely sidestep all the
Oh, did you?
all the Harry Potter stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually, hold on, before we keep going, Callie said Hobbit.
Oh, yeah, Hole in the Gully. No,
That's a
not
totally
yeah. Well,
different
Hobbit.
thing. Jedi. Apparently, you're a lot of things.
Well, Callie's a Bene Gesserit, so I have to bow to her wisdom. Otherwise, she'll weirding way me, and it just all. Anyways, we're going too far down the nerding rabbit hole. But I really do want to stream. I missed it. I was streaming not on my channel, but I was streaming on a variety of other channels. You know, I did Mac Break Weekly for 10 years, and I did the iMore show for 8 years, I think, maybe also 10 years. So
Yeah.
I was streaming once, twice, 3 times a week, and I really miss it. So I think stay tuned. And maybe if there was a brain of a super smart OG streamer, I could tap into.
We'll have
That would
to
be great.
we'll have to find one in the
Yeah,
comments.
love to talk. Yeah, love to brainstorm.
The Creator Classroom asked, what do you think is the best change YouTube has made based on your feedback from creators? That's a great question.
Ooh, well, I think it's just like it's hard to pin down one because a lot of things are really small and you may not notice them, and they're not necessarily like big changes, but changes in just the way that we do things, the way that we handle things, how we interact with creators, and that kind of stuff is 1,000 small things. So I think like just a lot of the processes and trying to make sure that everybody knows as much as possible about creators and understands like how creators make a living and like what affects us and what doesn't affect us. And again, it's not something big like suddenly the background of every YouTube page is green because it calms us creators down and makes us less, worry less about our data. But it's just that, like all these little processes have just a little bit of friction shaved off of them, and that adds up to like a big difference, especially over like a year of doing stuff on YouTube or the millions and millions of creators that we have on the platform all the time.
Yeah, yeah. As it relates to understanding things, right, and like really bridging that gap, I got a question on the promotions tab video that we released this week that I really wanted to tackle kind of upfront here because it sets the stage for a lot of the conversation we'll probably have today in response to a lot of your questions. Funky Prepper has 114,000 subscribers, and it's taken him 11 years to grow organically. He was getting 10K subs a week, and it was amazing. Now I'm losing 60 subs a week, and views are down massively since this promotion thing hit, the promotions tab he's talking about specifically. It feels like if we don't pay YouTube per video, our channels die. So I wanted you to tackle that and what could be causing that.
Yeah. So first, like, I hate these kinds of questions. Not because like I love getting, I appreciate getting these questions, but I hate to feel the kind of stress that creators are under when they get these questions. And I think what often happens, I would say like 95% of the time in my experience is there is a content issue that happens at a certain time. And it's really hard in a number of ways to tackle content issues because it involves like, oh, my content is like none of us want to think that, anything we're doing is wrong or anything like on the channel is wrong. And it's easy to go, oh, there's a change here, so it must be that. But it's also so disempowering. It makes you think that you have no control over your own destiny. And I'll give you like some of the reasons that we see this. Like I think I did see this comment on the video because I was reading through the comments and I went and took a look. And in this specific case, it's seasonality. Like what they're seeing now is absolutely true, but it was exactly the same thing a year ago. And there was no sponsor tab a year ago. And my guess is it was the same a year ago before, that this time of year, like there's spikes throughout the year, and this is a slow period for that specific topic or content type. And the views and the subscriber numbers have this predictable repeating pattern. And I am a tech YouTuber, and I saw the same thing. Like tons of traffic in September when everything is announced, and then it just goes dead over the the holidays are also big because people are buying stuff. But January, February, there's like months at a time where my views would be like next to nothing, and I'd lose like subscribers because the amount of accounts that were being removed from YouTube because they were bots or because they were not, all these sorts of things weren't being surpassed by the amount of new people signing on during that time of year. But then in the busy season, those numbers were just being blown away again, and I would hope every time to hold on to more of them. So in this case, it's seasonality. In other cases, you often see like one big video, like you get like 10,000 or 20,000 views on average for every video. Then you have one video that gets like hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views, and suddenly all your numbers are exploding. But that video has a finite audience. Like after a while, almost everyone who's going to want to watch it will have watched it. And that might be like a few weeks, a month, a couple months, a few months. That's going to drop back down. And when it does, you might go back down to the same number. You might even get more people. Like you could be getting 20 instead of 10 or 30 instead of 20, but it's not compared to a million. And people say, oh, the algorithm changed, or I'm being punished. But it really is that outlier, that distortion went away, and now you're back at normal again. And if you go back, like the best advice I can give creators is look at like the 1 year view, 2 year view sometimes, and look for those patterns, look for those spikes. And then you can figure out, oh, people love this video, I should do more of those, instead of, oh, the algorithm is punishing me, or oh, YouTube changed this feature, and that just takes all your power away.
I think that's so important. Like we just want to blame other things, and the algorithm gets the hit there. But when you do empower yourself to be able to make the changes, it's so much better, not only in the here and now, but for the future. And if you can't take that power and do something with it, then your life as a creator and entrepreneur is going to be sucky. Like, I'm just going to call it like it is. It's going to suck for you because you can't ever feel like you have power to change anything. And so I just really appreciate the way you kind of approach that. I think we're both, on the same line there. And I think that if any questions that you have are hitting around, oh, but the algorithm hates me, or my channel is dead, right? Like we all have the power to make the changes once you understand how YouTube works.
And ultimately, we all serve the audience. And this is not just a YouTube thing, but there are TV shows, there are movies, there are directors. You hear like, oh, I thought this was going to be a hit. And like, you have to respect the audience. It's YouTube. Everything is competitive. Audiences have agency. They get to choose what they watch. And we get to look at our analytics and see clues for what our audience enjoys. And then it's just up to us to give it to them.
Love that. All right, we had a super chat, another one from Mari's Music. Thank you for super chatting. As a Martin guitar dealer, when I add @Martin_guitar in my video script, oh, and Callie's big. Wow, what happened to Callie?
Back pocket Callie.
Thank you. Does that automatically show my video to their subs? Wait, hold on. Do you understand that question?
Yes.
Okay.
And no, because that would be dreadful. Because could you imagine like it's just everybody putting @MrBeast in their videos, or everybody putting @Marquez Brownlee? That is not only I don't think that's an ethical thing to do, like on top of everything else, but it would just be impossible to deal with on YouTube scale. It might, depending on how creators interact, show up in their mentions. But even that, like I would always go out of my way to like pull attention and not push it. Like I would like to get attention for the quality of my work and all that kind of stuff, and not just like constantly jump in front of people yelling, because they start to tune you out. Also, maybe find you annoying, and then they go out of their way to avoid you. And what you want is to do content that is so impressive that they can't help but find you. They'll be like word of mouth is basically how YouTube works. Like the discovery system is basically like machine learned word of mouth, but there's real word of mouth too. And if your stuff is amazing, they're going to hear about it. We see stories about that all the time.
Yes, I love that. And so what's like strategy would you use in order to push attention instead of pull?
Yeah, so like you can at mention them in it, and it may show up, but like you just want to make the audience ridiculously happy, and then like and you can even tell like it depends on your personality too, because like if you're very outgoing and extroverted in marketing, you can be like make sure you tell you have to be very careful though, because like again
Yeah.
you never want to annoy somebody. It's like swarming a celebrity or like just like standing in the middle of like you never like so you got to play these things really carefully. But at the end of the day, you're gonna like swim or sink based on the quality of your content. There is no amount of metadata tagging, yelling, anything that can make up for a bad video. So just make the absolute best quality video. Make videos that are so good that there's no way that anybody can ignore them. And that's
And
hard, which is why I think we tag things so much, but that's ultimately the right answer.
yes, absolutely. And I don't know why is Callie so bad. I don't know what happened to Callie, but we're just gonna leave it.
She's glowing up.
Marcus is like super. Pocket Callie is awesome. Apparently, I'm feeding Pocket Callie too much, and but we're gonna leave that. I guarantee you, companies have alerts. So there's a thing
Yes.
that companies do where they have Google alerts set for mentions of them across the world, right? Of the internet. And I used to have one for my name, but I got rid of that a long time ago because that just was too much. But I think that, you can also rely on companies finding you if you're making good videos and discovering those videos. So like people who do tech reviews find that all the time because people are looking
Yes.
for that content, who's talking about them. So thank you for that. If you have questions for the Creator Liaison, Rene Ritchie, go ahead and put a Q in front of it. Super chats do take priority. We're gonna keep going. These are great discussions. If you're loving this, give me a big love in the comments. And next question, are you ready, Renee?
I am.
Okay, your tech coach, Kathleen. Regarding the new monetization level, just to clarify, does the 3 public uploads in the last 90 days as a requirement include lives that are left up as VODs?
Yes, they include long form videos, shorts, and lives that are left up as VODs, like public VODs.
Yeah, that's a good distinction. It has to be public,
Yeah.
which you had mentioned earlier. Chris, super appreciate the session on Michael. I'm going to let the team take care of that question since that's about a previous video. Marianne, can you ask viewers to super chat or super sticker without feeling icky? Okay, I love this question. I'm going to let you tackle that one first, Renee.
All right, so you're the expert in this one, so you're just letting me tackle it to hear my novice answer. I think like yes, again, it's always going to depend on your personal comfort level and your style. And some people are very like upfront about it. There are some creators who will go like smash that like button, hit subscribe, and then you have some that are smooth. Like Marquez will always say, "I'll drop a link for that below the like button." So we didn't tell you to hit the like button, but he just happened to mention that there's a like button there. So that if
Yeah.
you're looking at the description, you see it and you're prompted to hit it. So, and some people don't mention it at all. They'll put up like like a little visual graphic on it. So it really depends. Like I would say, figure out what's important to you because you don't want to give people a job. You don't want them to start watching your video and say, like, subscribe, sign up for my newsletter, visit my website, sign up for my pod, because they're just like, I'm not at work. I'm just trying to enjoy your video. I'm leaving to find something relaxing. So
Yeah.
pick what's most important to you and then make that your call to action. And you can do a few at different times in your videos. I think even especially if you are live because it's such a real-time experience, but then figure out what's really important to you. Like, is it like subscribers because you need to reach a milestone for monetization or for like a play button or something? Or is it like watch another one of my videos because you want to start getting binge sessions going so the algorithm will maybe serve you up more for recommendations? Or is it like I just need money and then figure out is it super chats you want or is it memberships? And then tell people like just say like by the way I do like this is the advantage like if you want to keep this channel's topics are a little bit risky, so the best way to support us is with a super thanks or a super chat, and just be honest with your audience. Or say, I provide a ton of extra value to members, so if you want to hit that join button, these are all the perks. You're like, figure out what's important to you and then just be honest and upfront and transparent with your audience about it.
I think that's really fantastic advice. And what I hear from that and what I agree with and what I would say is there has to be some kind of reason, you know, like I love that you said, like, where, if you're looking for money, where do you want to get that money? There's recurring, there's one-offs, memberships versus super chat, and recurring is always better in my opinion, right? But when it comes to live, super chats and super stickers can be really, really powerful for community engagement, right? Like we have the Pocket Cali pop up when that happens. It's acting up today, but you know, what happens with that is people kind of pile on, right? There's this community factor to it. And so that can be a really powerful way to create a lot of engagement really fast. You have to already have an engaged audience who likes you, in my opinion. I don't know of any channel that's getting that, except maybe one, you know, here and there. But there's something else I was going to say, but it can, there has to be a reason. There really has, like, for us here on this show, the reason is you want your question to go to the top of the queue. You don't want to wait to go down because we have like, you know, a bazillion questions already in the queue. So, you know, there's a reason for that. So I'll leave it there, but yeah.
And I've seen some people do members only chat at sometimes too. So I think there's always ways to incentivize.
Yeah, exactly. All right, next question, Creator Classroom. Those channels that have been denied in the past due to not being ad friendly, will they be considered for the lower fan funding tier?
So the lower fan, so like this is like a tricky question to answer only because like those two things aren't actually related to each other. There's no ad revenue sharing in the fan funding tier. So if you're ad friendly or not, it doesn't matter because there's no ads. So in some cases, there are channels that do riskier content that's not as brand safe and that not as many advertisers. Because you have to remember, advertisers have agency as well. Like we get to choose which videos we make, viewers get to choose which videos they watch, and advertisers get to choose which videos they put their products on. And they might go, no, these videos aren't for me. But fan funding gives you a way around that, where you can build up a community that loves you, that is willing to fund you, like regardless of like advertisers or not, because they happen to really vibe with your content. So the simple answer is there's no advertising involved, so you don't have to worry about being ad friendly. You just have to build a community, have an audience that loves you, and then give them the opportunity to fund you.
Love it. Floyd with the super chat, thank you. Keep Pocket Cali big and beautiful. Will do. All right, next question. Miles, member for 2 years, by the way. Those of you who are members, super appreciate you. That's the other thing when you're asking for memberships or super chats, in terms of it not feeling sleazy, is like just being appreciative and acknowledging the fact that you appreciate that can go so far, right? His question was, do videos rank higher than live streams on YouTube search? Ooh.
Yeah, so we try to be as, we try to love all our children equally. And it really is like there's an aspect of YouTube that does like recommend videos, but a lot of it is based on personalization. So my understanding, and I don't understand search quite as well as I understand discovery just because I'm still learning a lot every day as well, but we pull a bunch of videos that we think satisfy that query, and then we rank them based on personalization. So if you happen to interact more with live streams, you might see live streams rank higher than somebody who interacts mostly with long form, like VODs, replays, those sorts of things, long form videos. And that's really an individual thing. So the way to think about it is these are the pool of videos that satisfy that. They're ranked based on performance, like how well did each of those videos perform, because it's a good indicator of the satisfaction you'll have in watching it. And then personalization based on how you individually interact with YouTube, the videos you've watched, the kinds of things you've enjoyed in the past. And that's how we present those sorts of things.
I think that's helpful for everyone to hear. All right, next question. HK, for medical education videos, how does YouTube recommend the disclaimer, as a link in the comments or on the video itself? Do you have, I don't know if you can speak to that.
Can you say that one more time? I'm not sure what we're disclaiming.
So medical education. So like because there are lots of like regulations around medical content.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that, I know we have a program that elevates like recognized medical authorities, but that's not something that you do individually. I think the only thing that you can really control is the FCC disclosure, which is whether you have a promotion or not. You can check the box, and we'll put up a little box for that. But the other stuff is handled at the platform level, as far as I'm aware.
Got it. The Honest Accomplice. I've been streaming to YouTube for 2 years, but mostly as a repository. Interesting strategy. I would love for you to tell me in the comments, follow up on that, Honest. Why? So that's an interesting strategy. I now have 500 hours of content.
Callie's on fire.
Callie is on fire. I know I have 500 hours of content. How do I gain traction? And then Jamie, I'm coming to you with your super chat question. So the question, yes, did you get the question?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So like traction is based on satisfying the audience. That's all it really is. Like at the end of the day, there are no real tricks to YouTube other than you have to find it. Like you have to figure out what topic you're passionate enough about that you're going to be willing to make a bunch of videos. Sounds like you've found that because you've made a bunch of videos, and then just figure out what your audience loves about it. And that's where like analytics can help you. You can see which videos your like brings back the like turns viewers into regular viewers the most. You can see the kinds of videos that your audience is watching and then give them more of those videos to love. So for every video you make, try to figure out what is the next video that someone who watched that video to completion would just love to watch next. And if you can package those together, so someone like finds one of your videos, whether like someone shares it with them or they come in through search or the homepage pops it up and they watch that and they immediately have another one of your videos to watch they're going to love just as much, or a playlist or something that gets them binging your content. That's how you get traction. It's the same like if there's a television show you love, you're going to want to watch the next episode. It's that classic Simpsons joke of like people want the exact same thing, only different every week. But that's really what it is. And if you keep giving them that, they're going to know what they're getting. They're going to be there for it. And that's how you build out traction. If it's just random, no one's like, people are going to click and go, I don't know what I'm getting. And they might skip you the next time. Yeah. So if your goal is to get traction and grow, and people can have other goals, like you don't have to do that. But if you want to maximize for traction and growth, it's just about giving the people who love you more of the things that they love to love.
Yeah. And he followed up. His main platform is LinkedIn. So he's multi-streaming. And honestly, when you're multi-streaming to different platforms, I'm just going to be honest, because I've seen it with thousands of our students and viewers and us as well. It's tough to gain traction when you're not focused on that platform. I don't know why I always do that.
He plays a mean guitar.
Poor Callie. But I think if you're going to simulcast and send your content out to multiple platforms, what works on LinkedIn is not what works on YouTube. And so you have to be okay, either one, not having traction, in my opinion, or two, thinking more strategically about how you're simulcasting. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think again, it goes back to like, what is my goal here? And the more you can have a singular goal for like your strategy, the better it is. And growth is a goal, but you have to be willing to sacrifice other things if rapid growth is your goal. But it may not be. Like there are YouTubers, like Louis and I both have friends who like, they don't get a lot of views, but they make so much money because they are so good at converting those views into like affiliate links or personal products, all of those things. And there are other people who just like their goal is to get people enrolled in so like pick your goal, and growth might be your goal, in which case focus on it, but it might not be. And all you need is a critical, like, what is that Pat Flynn thing? Like 1,000 true fans or whatever number it is. Figure out what you want and then design your strategy so you can get it.
Yeah. All right. If you guys have any follow-up questions about that, because that's a really important piece of the strategy and the goal, like the goal. Jamie super chatted earlier. The question was, is there anything being done about this invalid traffic bug? It's hit my channel over a month ago, and now I'm making 80% less than I was, and I'm really struggling. He's not getting any help from support. He mentioned earlier that there are thousands of people who are experiencing this, and I've never done anything to jeopardize my channel. So I'll let you take that, Renee.
Yeah, so invalid traffic is really handled on the Google side. Everything with AdSense is handled on the Google side. So the best thing to do, and I believe Jamie's already done this, is just to go to creator support, get them to validate it. If it's validated, it means that there is invalid traffic, and that's sort of like a thing. Like it's just like if they can validate it for you, it's what's happening.
What does that mean, though? What is invalid traffic?
Invalid traffic means, and again, I'm not an expert on it because it's a little bit outside of my purview.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a help article, and I think I've linked it before. But it's like non-interested, like it's like non-genuine traffic. So it's like people trying to bot ad clicks or bot all of those things. Like the classic case is just like your mom sitting there clicking over and over again, and you're like, that's a ridiculous example, but it's like non-genuine interest. And that can happen at all sorts of varying scales. And you just have to go through creator support, and they'll liaise with Google on it. And I know it's frustrating, but that's the best answer I can give you.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully that helps. And regarding the previous question, all the things that Doc is saying in the comments right now, 1000% totally agree. So everybody's echoing. Doc, Renee, me, we're all echoing the same thing regarding strategy. And Rob, you're late to the party here. Yes, Renee is the YouTube Creator Liaison, and we discussed what that is and how he works within YouTube and for you guys as creators at the beginning of this. So go watch that replay. He says, that's cool. Do you get that a lot still?
It's funny because like sometimes on my own channel I'll mention like I work for YouTube, like full disclosure, I work for YouTube, which is part of
Yeah.
Google and Google XYZ, and then I'll get a bunch of people going, "You work for YouTube?" And it's like it's almost been a year, but there are people still discovering it.
Yeah, well, I mean, people are still rediscovering me from Callie Lewis days.
Yes.
So, all right, this question next is something that I think everybody here is going to get benefit from, and it's. I'm going to ask the question, then I'm going to rephrase the question to benefit like literally everybody. Holmes Media says, I have one video going crazy with views and I can't figure out why. Is there something I'm missing, or is YouTube pushing that one video more? And I'm going to kind of take that as a more overview. How do you identify when something hits? How do you identify why that is? And then also, second part to that, how do you do more of that? Like, you want to do more of what's working, but how do you identify why it worked?
So I'm just going to back up a little bit and explain generally how recommendations work. And I don't have the best language for this, so I know like Lori's already going to give me wicked side eye for some of the terms that I use, but I'm going to just do the best that I can. And that
I'll
is
just
that
be over here
YouTube does,
private, hiding my.
okay, hiding your side eye. YouTube doesn't push videos for creators. A lot of creators feel that way, like we make a video and then YouTube pushes it out. But that's not what happens. What happens is YouTube pulls videos for viewers. So you open up your phone or you open up your browser and YouTube pulls the videos that they think we're going to enjoy the most. And then that's when you see like your homepage fill up, where you see that grid of 8 icons. Those are the videos based on our watch history, the watch history of people who watch similar videos to us, but we haven't watched yet, ranked based on performance and on what we talked about before, personalization. And it shows us the videos that YouTube thinks, or the discovery system thinks, we're most likely to click on and enjoy, be satisfied with. And so it's very much the goal is to satisfy the viewer. And that's one of the first things to understand and to think like a viewer. Because sometimes we just think about a creator and what we want to make, and maybe there's no audience connection there, and that hurts us out of the gate. So just very clearly think like a viewer is going to open up the homepage. They're going to be given 8 videos on a desktop. Why are they going to click on my video? Maybe there's a Mr. Beast video here, a Marquez video there, a Luria video, a Doc Rock video, and my video. What's going to make them see my video and click on it? Because it doesn't matter if I'm on that page, if they're like, I'm watching Mr. Beast, I'm watching Doc Rock, and then that's all the time I have. Like, you're still recommended, it's just they didn't choose you. So that's the first part of it, is getting people to choose you there. What was the second part of the question, Lori? I'm sorry, I got too deep into that.
No. The second part was like, if you want to, like you said earlier, you do more of what works, right? Do more of what's successful.
Oh, yes.
How do you identify like why that was successful so you can do more of it?
So
coming to you, Juan. Give me just a second. We're going to finish this.
okay, so what you want to do there is go into traffic sources. So go into analytics, find the video that did well, go into traffic sources, and some of them have sub-sources too. Like if you go, like you might see browse, search, external, and you can see where the views are coming from. If it's browse, like you can dig into that and see, is it the sub feed? Usually not. Most people don't use the sub feed anymore. Like for my channel, that's usually about 4% of people. Browse is usually one of the biggest sources of traffic for things that aren't tutorials. So that could be like 70, 60 percent of your traffic. There's also, if you go back out, there is search. And if it's like, if you're doing a tutorial or you're doing a how-to or something's popular in the news, like there could be like a big news story and everyone's typing that into YouTube and you happen to rank well for that. So everyone's going to your video. It could be external, like somebody put your video up on Reddit, or it got in, like it got embedded. Like sometimes you see people like, oh my, I'm getting all this traffic from India because someone gave me a big shout out. So you can sort of go through the traffic sources and see where that video is coming from. Now, if it's searched, like you can lean into that by making follow-up videos where somebody who watched that video, what other questions could they have? What other answers could I give them? If it's browse traffic, it's similar. Like, what would they enjoy watching after that? I just gave them the deep dive, so maybe I'm going to give them like the follow up, or I just gave them the overview. Maybe I'm going to give them the deep dive. But if you can start thinking in terms of series, how can I make a successful video into a series? And then once I have that series, what other topics that are closely related can I turn into a similar series? And you start building this catalog of content where if somebody lands on it, they don't just watch that video, they watch like a series of your videos. And that means you get into their watch history more, and they're more and more likely to be recommended your content, and they'll become familiar with you and be more apt to click on that content. And that's when you start standing out on that grid of, eight thumbnails when you first come to
Yeah.
YouTube.
And that doesn't happen tomorrow, right? That's going to take a little time to build out.
Yeah, and like there's nothing that beats experience. So like
Yeah.
just you got to make videos, figure out like what I did was I made a video, I wrote down in a journal what was wrong with the video. Like you got to be brutally honest with yourself if you want to get better. Like you can't think your
Wow.
content is great. You've got to like I wrote down everything that I thought was wrong with it. I picked one thing and I did that thing over and over again. Like I worked on fixing that thing, consciously fixing it every time until I hit diminishing returns, and then I would pick the next thing. And it was like better editing, better color grading, better sound design, like just anything I could think of, more compelling
Yeah.
topics. Like I would watch it. Like there's a great trick from Hayden Hillier Smith, mutual friend of ours, who
Yeah.
like he puts like his cat, his phone, his video games, and he watches his video. And if at any point he reaches for something else, he's like, okay, people lost interest right there,
Yeah.
and then he'll go in and figure out how to fix it. And that's the kind of like that's the drive that
Hmm.
like YouTube is the easiest way to get into a creative career, but that doesn't mean it's an easy creative career. Like there's
Right.
people who play high school basketball, people who play NBA, people who are in local theater companies, people who are headlining the biggest movies in the world, people
Yeah.
who play in their local clubs, people who get all the play on radio stations or streaming services. And YouTube is
Yes.
the same thing. Like there's me and then there's like Eric and like Ryan Trahan
Right.
and Sophia Nygaard. And the difference is they found a way to vibe with their audience and they worked consciously to get better and better each time. And if that's what you want, not everybody needs to want that. You can want like just a sustainable career that helps you pay your bills and
Hmm.
live a little bit of a better life. That's totally fantastic. But like if people really are like hungry to grow on YouTube, you really have to put in the work.
I friggin' love that example. And going back to what you said regarding like being brutally honest, guys, understand Renee has been in this content business for how long? 16,
I did
as
my
long as I
first YouTube
have.
video in 2008.
Oh,
A little
okay.
bit behind you.
Okay.
A few years
I
behind
beat
you.
you out. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Renee's been in this for a very, very, very long time. And still, when he started his own channel in 2020, he said, I understand content, but I'm going to be brutally honest and I'm going to get better and I'm going to get better. And that's really what it does take. Thank you
And
for
it
that.
changes. Like what I
Yeah.
knew in 2008 is not the same, and you have to relearn. And so, like again,
Mm-hmm.
think like a viewer. Watch like even if it's not your topic, I set aside an hour a day just to watch YouTube. Not what I like on YouTube, but I want to see what's hitting, like with different generations in different niches. Like what are the cozy comfort content people making?
Yeah.
What are the sports people making? What's the internet like? Just to see and keep my content fresh, because otherwise the audience, like the algorithm follows the audience, but the
Yeah.
audience moves. And if you don't move with those two things, they're going to leave you behind, and you'll blame the algorithm. But the thing is like you've got to keep your stuff fresh.
Yes, 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 yes. And that's, I think, why I think this analytical like approach and the way he has always said like, okay, I'm going to get better and better and better is one of the reasons why I think you are the creator liaison now. So, because you understand it. You guys, if you have questions, oh gosh, we are not through the questions. We are not through anything yet. We have such a big queue. If you have questions that you want to jump to the top of the queue, I'm going to try and answer all of the questions. We're going to go rapid fire here shortly, but we're going to try and answer everything as much as possible, but you can super chat to take priority, which is what Juan did earlier. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to throw that yet. Juan said, wrong button press. Renee, I follow you since forever. I have 155,000 sub channel for live worship music. Would you recommend vertical streaming over horizontal? That.
So, I mean, I think that is also going to depend on your audience. Like the nice thing about vertical streaming is that it's immersive for people on mobile devices, and that's increasing. Like that might skew towards like younger Gen Z audiences. It might skew towards people who are on the go. But people who maybe like living room is one of the fastest growing devices for YouTube, like people just watching on their television, leaning back, and for them, horizontal streaming is going to be better. So I would suggest going into your analytics, going into your traffic, going into a little thing and doing drop down by devices. It's like, I think it's further on the right, and seeing like how much of your traffic comes from each thing. And if you're noticing like 80% of people are watching on mobile, then maybe vertical like streaming is better for you. But if you're seeing that a lot of people are watching on television or on desktop, then horizontal might give them a better experience. But all of those questions are less about like what's like universally or objectively better and what is like specifically subjectively better for your own audience and channel.
Yes. All right. Before we get into rapid fire, those of you who have added questions to the queue, we're going to get to them. But Miles, who had super chatted earlier, had a follow-up question. So for reminder, the question was, do videos rank higher than live streams, was the question. The reason he was asking is that he live streams VR game Let's Plays. Do I leave the live stream up, or should I go through the hassle to private it, edit it, and upload a video version afterwards?
So I would like, one is like, one of the things that I forgot to mention is I always try to challenge assumptions. So like, if you're asking which ranks better at search, like I would first ask how important is search for you? And if like 90% of your traffic is coming in from search, even 60%, then obviously it's important. If it's 14%, then maybe that's not what you want to optimize for. Maybe you want to optimize for browse instead. So I would first figure out, where is that traffic coming from? Like, are people sitting down there and like typing in, I want to see a VR game like playthrough? Maybe not. Like, maybe that's not the first query that comes to mind. And if it is, maybe there's like more specific queries you can do things through. And then also, again, think like a viewer. Like, if you are typing that in, what kind of experience do you want? Do you want to spend an hour, 2 hours of someone who's streaming the game? Or do you want like a highlight reel? Or do you want both? Like, should you be in there with both options? So really, like, think what would give you, like, 'cause you're probably one of the people who knows the game the best because you're the one streaming it. Like, if you were looking for it, what would you want? Like, what would be the ideal for you? What are you missing? What is different? What can you do that nobody else is doing? And then give those people like you those formats to love.
Okay, fantastic. Are you ready for rapid fire? This is going to be
Yes.
tough.
Well,
okay.
no, but I'm going to do it anyway.
All right, we have too many questions to get through before I have to let him go at the top of the hour. So I'm going to ask the question, then I'm going to go to you full screen with rapid fire. And when it buzzes, you're done. Okay.
I lose a life, right?
Yeah, yes. You lose power. How do you say that in like video game terms? You lose a life, I guess. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm not a video game person, guys. Miles, YouTube's new podcast feature. If I host a weekly talk show style live stream, should I leave it as a live stream or switch it to podcast?
So the benefits of a podcast is that it will also allow it to be served in, for example, audio only format through YouTube Music and maybe other places eventually. So just think, where would your audience want to consume that? If they want to consume that primarily on video, then you're fine. If you do want to give them the option to take it with them while they're commuting or jogging or doing anything else like that, put it in podcast form as well.
All right, next question. The master, if I upload a podcast with no video, just an image, will that harm my channel's growth since it has no video attached? And by the way, congrats on not running out of time on that last one. Go.
Thank you. Yeah, so YouTube tends not to look at channels or creators. We look at videos and topics. So if one video doesn't do well, it doesn't mean the next video is not going to be the best video in the history of YouTube. So really don't worry about your channel growth. Worry about what you're doing for the audience. If you think your audience would enjoy an audio podcast with just an image, they may not. They might find that boring. Maybe look at generative AI and see if you can get a video generated that would be more interesting for them to watch while they're doing it. But I would just suggest think about delivering the best experience you can for your audience.
Nicely done. Right on time. Novice asked, do you recommend paying YouTube for promotion once in a while? Renee actually answered this question in depth in the video that we did this week. We released that on Wednesday. So Novice, I'm going to send you over to that video because that is an in-depth answer. Next question. Anthony, most popular and profitable tech channels. I guess he's asking which are the most popular and profitable tech channels. I don't think Renee can speak to profit on somebody else's channel, but and popularity, I mean, I guess you can kind of like, I don't know if you have an answer for that, Renee.
Like, I mean, overall, Technical Guru, G.
Oops, sorry. I hit the wrong button.
Yeah, technical Guru G is like an Indian tech YouTuber with like 20 million plus subscribers. He's huge. Unbox Therapy is huge. Marquez Brownlee, obviously. Mr. Who's the Boss, Unbox Therapy. Their profitability is going to depend on various things about like how much sponsor money or like other or product money that they make. So that's harder to tell. But just based on base popularity, those are the big ones. And Linus, of course.
And Linus, of course.
Yes.
The Paul Duncan, how can we talk to if we have comments, suggestions for moderator? Who can we talk to? If you have comments or suggestions for moderator functions. And actually, this is a great general question as the creator liaison. Outside of this Q&A, if you do have questions or suggestions, where should they send that?
So there is a feedback form. I'll get you the link for that. But also,
Okay.
if you just tweet like at Team YouTube, they'll send you the link for the feedback form. And you're always welcome to send suggestions my way, and I'll compile them and share them with the teams.
And you can just do that on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Is that the best
Yeah.
way?
Or like,
Okay.
or at YouTube Liaison on YouTube as well. Just leave it in a comment on one of the community posts.
Oh, okay. Okay. And by the way, yes, Sammy, Renee is like awesome at rapid fire. I fail miserably because I talk too much, and he's got it down pat.
I talk very fast. I don't stop talking. I talk really fast and I get the answer as fast as possible.
Novice, I was wondering if I extract the sound of a song without the singer's voice only, can I be in danger of copyright strike? Oh, like just
If you
using
don't,
the music versus the song sound.
yes. So it's not like in danger. It's like if you don't own it, like
It's
someone else does own it.
let's
Like
just say it's
think
illegal.
really hard. Yeah, like unless you have a fair use justification, but fair use is an affirmative defense that you like. So like if it's not yours, think about like if you made something and someone else took it, how would you feel? That's the same way they feel. So try to like act
Yeah.
accordingly, be reasonable, and think about like how you're using other people's materials.
All right. Are there any copyright issues with reposting edited YouTube videos in our content? Can we read or use same question? Same answer.
Yeah,
I'm just
same
gonna say
answer.
same
Like,
answer.
it's up to the person. They could do anything from copy striking you, which could put your channel at risk, to ignoring it, to actually liking it.
Yeah.
Talk to them first. That's
Yes.
the best thing to do. That's the most ethical thing to do is go talk to them.
Absolutely. Okay. Archidube, how do you think 8-core... This is not a YouTube question. This is a Rene Ritchie question. Do you want to answer one of those? A Mac question? Okay. How do you think an 8-core iMac M1 has 2 fans compared to 7-core model will perform for eCam? For streaming? Well, I guess that was a
So
me
I think
question. You question.
I mean, like just from my point of view, anything that has active cooling will just be bound by the number of cores that it can devote to it. So I think it's probably fine. But as we're moving into the M2 and eventually the M3 generation, it's going to be aging out. So just think about like your investment versus your upfront costs and which one is easier for you.
That's always the case, right? All right. Anthony, does YouTube track and differentiate between attracting traffic from others opposed to bringing new YouTube viewers on the platform? Does that make sense to you?
I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe if you could expound on that. We can
Yeah,
circle back to
Anthony,
it.
I know you're still here. If you can re-ask that question, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. When you say, Luria, when you say you have seen creators succeed and fail, are you talking about members of the accelerator program? And if so, why do they fail? I'm just talking, I've been doing this for 17 years. Renee's been doing this for 15 years, 14 years. Generally speaking, I think both of us have seen people start and fail, start and succeed. When I say, why do they fail, I guess is the question, is a great question, right? Renee, what are your thoughts on that? Go.
I mean, YouTube is hard. Like, again, it's super accessible. It's easy to get into, but like succeeding is still tough. And if you think about how many people succeed in music, even like one-hit wonders or bands, how many people succeed in movies? Like how many people are still stars 15 years later, 10 years later, 5 years later? It's like a constant cycle of reinvention. And that takes just like a lot of energy, a lot of drive, a lot of creativity. And that is hard over time. And people have families and things change and get different jobs. So it's tough.
You're so good at hitting that end spot. Oh man, team 17 years ago too. Doc Rock, I love it.
Oh yeah, we're OG.
And to expand on that, it's exactly what Renee said. It's hard, and if you have the staying power and the willingness to push through, you are going to succeed. It's some point, right? Like that's just
And
what it
some of it's
takes.
like resiliency and the ability
Yeah.
to like live through adversity because like things go up and down. Everyone has ups and downs. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just get a better offer. Like you get an amazing job that doesn't involve content creation. And is
Yeah.
that really failing or is that just like changing plans?
Yeah, exactly. All right. And when it comes to succeed, like I think that that's a really good point is like, what is your goal for this? When you are starting to create content, you've got to understand what you're trying to achieve. And you don't necessarily know that immediately, but you want to do everything you can to keep that constant question in mind of why am I doing this and what do I hope to get out of it? All right.
Yeah.
Did we get an answer from Floyd? Real quick. Hold on.
Anthony.
Or Anthony. Floyd, I restate your question because I don't know what you mean. Anthony and Floyd, restate your questions.
Yes.
Actually, we did get a follow up. Okay, Floyd asked, when is YouTube going to give super chats control to creators? And the follow up on that when we asked him was, we deserve to control what or how much each dollar level super chat is. So basically, like instead of just the default super chat amounts, he wants control over that. Any thoughts on that, Renee?
Yeah, so nothing to announce, but I would just say that when like everything is easy, when you don't have to like design it, engineer it, deploy it, and support it. And I'm not being glib with that. It's like when you look at YouTube scale and you have to solve for like millions and millions and millions of creators, the levels of complexity can become stupefying at times. So there is a lot of value in having a system that is rock solid but simple rather than complex and fragile. Because the worst thing would be, oh, we have all these options and they break all the time.
I gotta learn from you. You have not gone over once, not once.
Oh, my heart is beating so fast.
Anthony, can we do a Q&A with Renee again soon? Well, I'm not going to take up all his time as the creator liaison, but from time to time, hopefully, I'm not going to make him answer live. Novice, do you know how YouTube promoting works as far as prices for how many views? Oh,
It's
probably
like,
not. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the AdSense system. So it's going to be it's going to vary incredibly based on exactly what you want, who you want to reach, how much you want to reach them, where you are, where they are, like not where you are, sorry, but where they are, all these different things. So it's impossible to answer, but you can get an answer really quick by just going in and looking.
All right. Next question. Master, are the three copyright strikes for the life of the channel, or do they clear out after a specific amount of time?
So I don't think it's a specific amount of time. It's the result of the copyright strike. So like there's a whole page, a help article on this. But if you go in and look at the copy strike, it's going to give you detailed information about like whether you like you file a counterclaim, you dispute it, how that dispute is resolved. All of those will have different answers for you. So I would encourage you just to go in and look at that. And a lot of that is the law. Like it's YouTube having to deal with the laws as they exist in the United States and other countries.
All right. And Doc Rock says, say that again, Renee. He calls you R2. Everything is easy when you're not creating. You don't have to actually repeat that, but.
Or like you're supporting, because like you can't just create something, put it out there. You got to support it.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we've covered a ton today in terms of strategy, algorithm, discovery. What are your final thoughts, Renee, as to how somebody grows on YouTube? What are the most important things that they need to pay attention to?
So one is like make better videos. I'm totally stealing that from Mr. Beast and Marquez, but it's one of my favorite answers. Like Jimmy is talking to Marquez and he just says, there is nothing on YouTube that you want, like whether it's views or subscribers or watch time or anything that you can't get by making better videos. It's just that making better videos is so hard. People tend to want to do anything but that. But if you can focus really on making better videos and then packaging them, because it doesn't matter how good your video is if nobody ever clicks on it. So making a thumbnail that will stop people from scanning or scrolling, and a title that just lives rent-free in their head until they click on it. Like if you can make something compelling that stands out on the homepage, people want to click on it, and then deliver on the promise of that thumbnail, give them an amazing experience that makes them want to watch more of your videos, and then have those more of your videos for them to watch. All of those things, really good packaging, really good videos, really good binging content. That is how you're going to grow on YouTube, because it's competitive, and the platform is like there's new and hungry people coming on all the time, and you've got to know what you want and then just make fantastic experiences for your viewers.
I love that answer, and it is absolutely the truth. Do better. And speaking of what we talked about at the beginning of this, it gives you agency. It gives you control when you say it's on me to grow. It's not on YouTube to help you grow. And they're doing their thing, and take a little bit of control over or responsibility over your own growth. And those things that Renee just said are the ways that you're going to be able to do that.
And we don't give up on videos. We'll keep testing videos, but like people have to enjoy those videos. Like we can't force people to watch them. And YouTube is an amazing recommendation engine because if somebody watches like a video similar to yours, there's a good chance you'll be in that sidebar and they'll have every opportunity to click on you. But when they do, you've got to take it. Like it's that Eminem thing, right? Like you've got your one shot. That video's got to deliver, or they're just going to leave it. And there's nothing YouTube can do, but there's nothing we can give people endless opportunities to watch you, but there's nothing we can do to force them to keep watching. That is all entirely on you. And it doesn't mean make like 10 videos a day. Like there are channels that do 1 video a month, 3 videos a year. Some channels, like news channels, do a lot more than that. But like find something that's healthy, sustainable for you, and then make sure that you, like when you get those opportunities, you really deliver with those videos.
Thank you so much, Renee, for taking the time to answer all of their questions. Y'all can find him on Twitter at YouTube Liaison, and that link is in the description already. Thank you, Renee, so much.
Oh, thank you, Luria. And thank you, everyone in the chat room, Sammy and Doc and Callie and Kat, just everybody. You have an amazing community. It's like so optimistic and supportive and helpful. And it's really a great feeling to just see them in action.
Thank you. Would you say it's the best community online?
It is absolutely one of the best communities online because I just don't want pitchforks and torches from other communities because there's a lot more of them than there are of me. But it is absolutely one of the best communities I've ever run
That's
across.
fair. Okay. All right. Fair. You ready to dance this baby out?
I am.
All right. Thank
Bring
you
it.
all. Everybody put your dancing shoes on. I did not load the credits onto this profile. I apologize, but thank you to all of our YouTube members. Thank you for being the best community on the internet, even if Renee won't say it. We love you. And it's time to dance this baby out. All right.